All right. So, big project here. Gonna do a haunted house. Hopefully this is interesting to watch. Buckle in, because it's gonna be a long set of videos. And I'll get into it. Hope you enjoy. Part 3 of the haunted house project. We're gonna go in with some gold metallic, a bit of a change up from our darker matte colors. I'm hoping this is going to really make things pop. I don't want to overdo it with metallics, but the idea is that I'm going to try to do some outlines, like the windows per se. So I want to do windows with this gold. I want to keep everything nice and square, or at least as square as I can get it with a brush. There'll be some thinner or thicker sections, but that's fine. Along with the windows, we're also going to do the T-frame. Now, there's a lot of different specs, from the brown of the walls, the gray of the floor, and the purple tendrils. We're just going to paint over that with gold, and the only thing we want on top of that would be the tendrils. So here I'm just gently doing the T-frame, just dabbing the brush to lay a lot of the metallic on the T-frame. Again, just do it nice and easy. You're not going to be doing long brush strokes with this. I find just dabbing and placing the paint on the areas and then going over it again to kind of smooth it a bit works good for me. I then decided to go in the magical door / portal and also make that like a gold frame. Again, the whole idea with this magic portal is that we're trying to put a door where there's just a flat wall. So I figured this highlight of gold will make that a bit more obvious to people. With metallics, you need to paint thickly, because when you paint it thin, the metallic tends to just look a bit too transparent. So you have to either paint it on thick or do multiple coats. So now we're going to start on this upper window here, and I'm just gently brushing across, starting horizontally, and then I'm just going to go down and kind of complete the grid. So you can see with this blow up here, I've done this a couple times. Press the paint in a bit too much, and the metallic kind of spreads out on either side of the brush, and you're left with like an exposed middle part of whatever the base coat is, which for this particular part of the project, we don't really want. So because we're painting thick, it will take a bit longer to dry, and it'll probably be more prone to looking messy. Though when it dries, it does tend to flatten out, so any high points can be smoothed over with another pass or two of the brush. So I'm doing little dabs of gold in between the tendrils just so I could get the gold color there. The idea is that the gold frame is underneath the tendrils, so there should be a little bit showing in between. Obviously, that's going to cover up some of the sharp lines of the tendrils, so we're going to have to go over that for sure. This kind of adds just a small little detail to it. Some people might notice, but it would have annoyed me if I didn't do it. The metal of the haunted house is just a flat cutout piece that's been folded to look like a haunted house. So there's no real texture or lip on the windows. It's just a cutout. So I kind of wanted to separate that from the actual wall of the haunted house. So I figured gold would be a good way to do this. Again, to kind of paint it on thickly so it's just a bit separated from the wall. And the gold will make it clear that it's its own part of the house rather than just an awkward looking cutout. I still have a good amount of gold paint left, so I'm wondering what else I could use it for, and I decided to kind of just paint the little edge of this cone, or I guess the piece that meets the roof, just to kind of add the gold somewhere else. Again, because it takes so long to dry, you do have some time to kind of mess with the line or the metallic with the brush, just to kind of get the texture that you're looking for. The idea with this gold is to outline like the frame of a window or door. So I still have gold paint on the brush or in the pot, and I don't want to overdo it on the outside. So I'm going to try to just add some small details on the inside and paint the reverse side of the window gold as well. Now, I don't really care if this is overly nice or if it's completely metallic. Like, it's fine if there's going to be some blemishes, because not a lot of people are going to see that. This is more so just to use up some paint and just have a bit of a finer attention to detail in the back. I guess it's more consistent just to paint some gold in the back, but again, this is not an area people will see often, so it's kind of just a little extra bit to just kind of paint the scene a bit more. So after some debate, I think I'm going to go and add more gold to the top. There's a seam on the cone that I wanted to paint over because it kind of looks a bit odd compared to everything else. So my first thought was gold rivets, kind of incorporating that lip of folded metal just with the overall project. So I figured rivets might look nice. I ended up backtracking on the rivets because they just didn't seem like a realistic size in comparison to the haunted house. So I ended up just connecting all the dots pretty much and making one long line up as if it's like a gold trim or gold like reinforcement plate on the cone of the roof. Again, it's still like a haunted house, but this gold, we'll just make it all pop a bit more. Just to kind of finish off the gold, I'm just touching up all the windows and anywhere that I see divots of metallic paint, or if I miss someplace. And I'm just kind of looking around, scanning the whole area to see if I could just plop a bit more paint somewhere. Anywhere that's convenient. And then I'll clean my brush off because I'm done with this gold. And with the gold done, we'll break out the purple again because we're gonna have to go over the tendrils. So in the next one, we'll probably do some highlights and maybe break out a nice purple metallic. But that'll be for later. Cheers. Thanks for watching.